Today on the Morning Edition, it's nothing new here in the Frontier State to wake up and check the weather forecast first thing to find out what type of battle today will be. We'll bring you the latest on what Southeast and Southcentral are facing today. Plus, the weather has caused damage throughout the state. High winds, heavy snow, and while there are many looking for repair services, there are those out there looking to take advantage. We'll bring you tips on how to protect yourself. And later, a man suffered a sudden cardiac arrest while enjoying a day off, and what could have been a tragedy became a story of rare blessings where instead of a funeral, his family is now thanking the one responsible for saving his life. We'll find out his story as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. And we are looking forward to some warmer temperatures, at least in South Central.
Yeah, we're already beginning to see that push of warmer air beginning to build in across southern parts of the region. Of course, we're waking up this morning to some snow showers. 1 degree is where we're currently sitting at. We do have a light breeze out of the north, making it feel more like 13 below outside. So today we'll still hold on to some of those cold conditions, but we will begin to see those temperatures rise through the rest of this week. In fact, by Friday, we'll begin to see many areas about 30 degrees warmer than what we're currently sitting at with a temperature of 1 degree. You can see those warmer conditions already beginning to nose their way out towards Prince William Sound and southern parts of the Kenai, or at least southeastern parts of the Kenai, where we are seeing those single-digit lows, as well as Valdez and Cordova waking up to those temperatures sitting near freezing. But you can see some sub-zero values as you head into the valley, as well as the Copper River Basin. Now, nowhere near the cold that we did see last week, but we are beginning to tap into some of those warmer conditions. It will slowly arrive through the day, and then we'll really begin to tap into that warmer weather as we welcome in your Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. There's that band of snowfall extending from lower parts of the Matanuska Valley down through western parts of the Kenai. We will pick up a few inches of snowfall accumulation today, and then out towards Cordova, we'll see more in the way of a rain-snow mix as those temperatures are set to warm into the mid to upper 30s. We've got a trio of lows in the northern Pacific Ocean as well as the southern Gulf of Alaska. These will interact with us here over the next couple of days. We're watching this storm system that's going to drive in those warmer conditions later this week, and of course that area of low pressure is going to take aim on southeast, where we are going to see widespread rain sticking around through the day, as well as some gusty conditions. Here across South Central, we are going to keep some snow in the forecast. Temperatures do warm into the teens later today. Just be careful on those roadways as we are going to see that light snow accumulate throughout the day. We'll be seeing the potential that we could pick up a few inches. More snow expected through the week, and of course that avalanche danger remains high. I'll have more on that in that southeast forecast coming up.
After a month of heavy snow, warmer rain is now melting it down, triggering flooding and ramping up avalanche threats across parts of the capital city. Joe Allgood tells us what's still at risk and why officials say they're not out of the woods just yet.
Keep in mind that conditions are still very slippery, whether it's parking lots or driveways or sidewalks or water on the roadways. These all create hazardous and slippery conditions so that we want to make sure that everybody's safe and we don't have any injuries or accidents out there.
Juneau spent much of the weekend digging out from under the snow that piled up all last month.
Thanks to the hard work of these hundreds of individuals who moved over 3 million pounds of snow from our facilities, our structural engineers have now cleared all JSD schools for occupancy.
But even after clearing roofs and roads, flooded areas remain.
Obviously, you know, our larger vehicles can move pretty well, but, and then of course having that atmospheric river come and just dump that rain, really, you know, we already had the ground was frozen, our culverts, you know, many had frozen over, so double whammy, you know, a lot of that water didn't have anywhere to go.
As well as the danger of avalanches.
That relatively small pocket had enough snow to come down to here. If all this snow up here were to go, we still feel there's high potential for it to damage homes. For these reasons, the evacuation advisory remains in effect for the Barrens slide path.
Thankfully, most everyone has returned to their homes, with the exception of the Bear End neighborhood, but city officials say they are not out of the woods yet.
I want to stress that additional closures and/or evacuation advisories may be issued as we have more wet weather coming our way. These advisories may be issued with little to no warning.
Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
Last night, we did learn that Thane Road will be closed at the avalanche gates at noon today because of a high avalanche hazard to the roadway. Meanwhile, the mountain And it does not take much to send them off, leading to high avalanche danger across parts of South Central as well. Jace Bertrand breaks down what's driving this threat and the simple moves that could save your life.
At first, I thought it was just an airplane. Like, I was trying to figure out why everybody was getting excited about an airplane. And I turned around when somebody screamed avalanche and just happened to whip my phone out in time to catch the remaining.
Mother Nature is a force to be reckoned with. Its sheer power has led to Southeast and Southcentral Alaska being placed under avalanche warnings over the weekend.
But really, it's been the whole last month of really cold temperatures that form these weak layers in the snowpack. It's a combination of this weak layer forming during the cold weather, and then the storms kind of cause the current avalanche conditions.
John Sykes, forecaster for the Chugach National Forest Avalanche Center, says avalanches have already occurred near Anchorage.
We saw probably half a dozen human-triggered avalanches in Turning Pass.
A major concern for Sykes, something he calls remote triggers.
So you might be traveling on a pretty low angle in safe terrain, but because the snowpack setup is weak, you could collapse a layer of snow, and that could travel through the snowpack and have an avalanche release up above you that would then come down and impact where you're standing.
The best defense? Being aware of your surroundings.
So if there's a steep slope up above, you want to avoid that in case the avalanche releases and then runs out to where you are. Recent avalanches are also a huge sign.
Meanwhile, across the state, forecasters are keeping an eye on the situation in Juneau.
Our avalanche hazard remains elevated, but we haven't seen any additional avalanches in the last 24 hours that we've been able to detect with our avalanche detection system that we've installed along Thane Road.
So we want people to be vigilant, not drive through avalanche debris if they do happen upon one.
Jace Bertrand, Alaska's news source.
Well, we've seen our fair share of first this winter, and the cost of extreme weather adds up. Recent storms have left many properties damaged, and as homeowners look for repairs, scammers and unqualified contractors are taking advantage. Our investigative team's Johnson Kuhn has what to watch out for and how to protect your family.
This month in Juneau, heavy snow and wind left roofs collapsed and boats sunk in the harbor. The kind of disaster that draws both legitimate help and bad actors. The Better Business Bureau warns homeowners can lose thousands to fraudulent contractors who demand large lump sum payments and then disappear.
They collect all this money up front in a big lump sum payment. They might start a little bit of the work or they might not do any of it, but the end of it is they don't complete the work and they take off with that money.
The BBB's Cameron Nakashima says home improvement scams are among the top 5 riskiest nationwide. After storms, you'll see everything from practiced con artists to well-meaning but inexperienced crews. So how do you find a trustworthy contractor?
If they've been around for a long time and they've got a really good reputation, you can trust them.
Michelle Holland is an industry expert with an A+ BBB rating who has operated a roofing company in Alaska for 30 years. She says many new, unvetted companies appear after storms, but local presence matters for warranties and accountability.
Most of the time, if you have somebody knocking on your door and they can do it that day, it's probably not a legitimate roofing company.
Quick tips that both Nakashima and Holland stand by. Check BBB's website and municipal licensing sites. Ask for proof of insurance and bonding. Request references and get everything in writing. Take photos before, during, and after work. Beware of door-to-door offers, high-pressure sales, or demands to sign immediately.
Do your research, go in with caution, and nobody is trustworthy until you're able to discover the proof of their trustworthiness.
The bottom line, checking credentials is easier than you think.
You want to protect yourself as far as doing your homework, doing your research.
A bit of due diligence can keep a bad job or expensive scam from derailing your family's recovery after a storm. Johnson Kuhn, Alaska's news source.
To research companies or make a report, we'll link you there on our website and mobile app. And if you have a tip for our investigative team, send an email to investigates@ktuu.com. Now to an update in the death of a Wasilla cardiologist. Alaska State Troopers say 46-year-old Ryan McDonough died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Troopers say he was found inside his home on December 13th, and they do not suspect foul play. The cause and origin of the fire are still under investigation. At the time of his death, McDonough was facing 10 counts of possession of child sex abuse material. Troopers say the fire happened just one day after he was released on bail following his arrest on December 11th. If you or someone you know needs help, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is available 24 hours a day. Call or text 988. Would Anchorage property owners pay more to help keep schools funded? Mayor Suzanne LaFrance is betting they will. At a press conference Monday morning, LaFrance proposed a one-time education tax levy. In return, she says she'll hit pause on her proposed 3% sales tax for now. The mayor says the levy could bring in nearly $12 million. Anchorage School District Superintendent Jarrett Bryant says it won't close the projected $83 million budget gap, but it could help prevent class sizes from growing.
$11.8 million is roughly equivalent to about 90 teacher positions. And that matters when we're trying to balance class sizes district-wide and protect the classroom experience. 90 teaching positions could be theoretically distributed across the entire municipality in the classrooms where it's needed the most.
Voters would have to approve the measure for it to go through. It's up to the Assembly to decide whether to put it on the April ballot. A public hearing is scheduled for January 27th. Former Representative Mary Peltola's Senate challenge is drawing national battle lines as to who's endorsing who. Adelmi Ruiz joins us now from the newsroom with the latest. Adelmi.
Kristen, after former Congresswoman Mary Peltola made her intent to run official yesterday morning, other lawmakers are choosing sides. Peltola lost her House seat after one term. Some issues she says she wants to address are lowering energy and grocery costs. Sullivan has held the seat for 12 years. He's been endorsed by the president, and while Peltola says she wants to fix the broken system in D.C., Sullivan says Democrats do not have a good history in D.C.
My agenda for Alaska will always be fish, family, and freedom. But our future also depends on fixing the rigged system in D.C. that's shutting down Alaska while politicians feather their own nest.
D.C. Democrats have a 100% record of when they get in power of shutting down our state, killing jobs, undermining. That's not conjecture. That is a fact. I know these guys. So we're going to continue the positive, bright future that we're working on together with everybody.
Senator Lisa Murkowski says she will back Dan Sullivan to keep his seat. In a statement she sent to Alaska's News Source, she argues it would be important for Alaska to hold a Republican majority in the Senate. On the latest episode of Alaska's Political Pipeline, political reporter Will Courtney breaks down where this race stands right now. You can listen on our website, our app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Kristen.
All right, thanks, Adelmi. Family is mourning the loss of a son and a brother came together on what would have been his birthday, launching the Bailyn Scott Miller Foundation to aid and assist those that can't afford their own expensive gear, which could save their lives. Helping others in his name. We'll explore more after this.
Light snow showers spreading across South Central this morning. Along with that, we are seeing a high avalanche danger from South Central to Southeast. I'll have more on that, but first at sunrise, 9:59 in Anchorage, 8:35 in Juneau.
Welcome back in. 16 minutes past the hour on this Tuesday morning. Aaron, Southeast just took a beating, and it's not over yet.
Yeah, we're talking about heavy rainfall that's going to build in throughout the day. Along with that, we do have some high winds to be expected. Now, that high avalanche danger is for both South Central as well as Southeast. Now, here in South Central, it's more so towards the back country. But we are going to be watching some more rain and winds building in across the Panhandle. And, of course, we've got some more snow spreading across South Central, of which we're already dealing with this morning. Now, when it comes to that avalanche danger out towards Turnagain Pass, for today, it's going to be considerable above 1,000 feet. Now, the avalanche conditions continue to remain exceptionally dangerous, and human-triggered avalanches of 1 to 3 feet deep remain likely. Now, we tend to see some of the greatest avalanche concerns following a storm up to 48 hours after that stormfall comes to an end is when we begin to see some improving conditions with that avalanche. But we do have more snow building back in across South Central. You can see all of Southeast up under high wind warning. We've also got flood advisories, and of course that avalanche danger continues along the Beren Slide Zone out towards Juneau, and then as you head out towards the Klondike Highway, we do have a winter storm warning. As far as those winds this morning, not too terribly windy. We are seeing from Skagway to Haines, those winds gusting about 20 to 30 miles per hour. But as that rain builds in from the south, becoming heavy into the afternoon and evening hours, we will see those winds increasing as well. Be prepared. Notice these darker colors, yellows and oranges. This is where we could see a very heavy rainfall that's going to spread across the Panhandle. And of course, the northern parts of the Panhandle will see a better shot of seeing some rain, snow mixing in through the forecast. So for the remainder of today, expect some widespread heavy rainfall that's going to build across southeast with winds gusting up to about 60 to 65 miles per hour. As we head into our Wednesday, we'll see some dry time, but we'll continue to see waves of moisture building in from the Gulf of Alaska. That will keep some rain showers in the forecast. And be prepared for several inches of snow of rain accumulation, where we could see upwards of 3+ inches of that rainfall to be expected through today and into your Wednesday and Thursday, and of course out towards Skagway and higher elevations. That will largely fall as snowfall. While areas of the Klondike Highway above 2,500 feet could see up to, if not more, than a foot of that snowfall accumulation. So when it comes to those winds today, you can see starting off this morning, those rain showers, winds will steadily ramp up. By this evening, we'll see those winds gusting out of the east up to 50 miles per hour with that widespread rain. And then on into your Wednesday, we'll see those rain showers remaining, but those winds will steadily die down. Now, still seeing some gusts up to about 40 miles per hour through tomorrow morning. And then by tomorrow evening, those winds die down less than 20 miles per hour. So we'll see about a 24 to 36 hour period where we'll hold on to some gusty winds. Temperatures today warming into the 40s and the 50s. Again, be prepared for some of that heavy rainfall. That rain combined with some snow melt will lead to some of those flooding concerns. And again, along the Marin slide zone out towards Juneau, we continue to see some of those avalanche concerns. Temperatures stay in the 40s for the foreseeable future. We'll see that widespread rain sticking around. And then by Thursday into Friday, we should see enough cold air at night and into the early mornings that we'll see some localized areas of wintry mix that will continue into your Saturday.
All right, thanks, Aaron. A local climber who fell from a well-known peak in Yosemite is being remembered in a way that will help others. Months after the tragic passing of Balin Miller, his family has come to create a foundation in his name. Monday would have been Miller's 24th birthday, but instead of celebrating with her son, Janine Moorman is launching the Balin Scott Miller Foundation. The nonprofit will provide grants to young climbers who can't afford expensive gear. Balin's siblings, Dylan and Mia, along with friends, gathered to celebrate his life the way they say he would have wanted, wearing orange and with glitter on their cheeks, just like Balin would do.
I guess I'm trying to bring him back, but I can't. I miss his laugh a lot. That's really hard. I miss his chaos, his personality, and it's so vibrant, and the house will never be the same without him.
She plans to use the foundation to help others in his memory, saying she's excited to see their joy and help them fulfill their dreams. Moorman's advice to anyone who has lost a child: don't stay in the dark. Increasing food security in Alaska's interior is the goal, and the answer could be found in the light. Later today at noon, the University of Alaska Fairbanks will be hosting a seminar on how LED light technology can help growers produce crops year-round, even through the winter. UAF says these lights are more efficient and can be customized for different plants, and researchers are studying how to best use them for a variety of crops to eventually extend the growing season.
We want to produce crops and to provide for food, and so we can make sure that we have enough food and locally grown, especially now we have transportation. We don't want to be dependent on other regions because you never know what can happen. We can be cut off, and then food security becomes really important, that we can sustain ourselves with what we can grow locally.
The seminar is open to students and community members and is available both in person and online.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's News Source automatically, and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's News Source app.